Hey guys, it's your girl Miss G, and you know what time it is. It's G time. It's time to get up, get active, and get it together. My purpose is to give advice, encourage change, and empower success. The goal is for us to grow, elevate, and excel. Everyday action is required for change, and say it with me, people. You have the power to create change. Today is day 4 of our reflection journal challenge, and I hope that everyone has had an opportunity to write in your journal and answer the question of the day. If you haven't, take some time throughout the rest of your day to reflect and answer the question. So, the question for today on day 4 is, what did you learn about yourself last year? I think this is a great question. I do think it's a very broad question. It can take some time to really think about what did I learn about myself? Did I learn anything about myself this year or last year? Did I learn something? Whatever it is going to take some time to really think about what you learned about yourself last year. And it's important to know yourself. I found a quote that says, knowing yourself is life's eternal homework. And I was like, I really like that because learning yourself is a process that is never ending. It's everlasting. It's ongoing. It's continuous. The more you grow, the more you continue to learn about yourself. Who I was last year is probably different than who am this year. Mainly because if I saw growth in my emotional well-being, my mental health, my physical, my financial, if I saw growth in those areas, there are going to be some changes that are made into this new year because of the growth that I made in my last year, in my previous year, and moving forward. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. Not because I'm just brand new and I'm out here acting all different, but because I've developed some new skills, because I have grown in different areas, and because of this, I have changed in different areas. I'm not just a new person, but I am a new person. Those skills that I developed throughout the past years has created a new me. And it's okay to say that. You don't have to stay the same. Growing is an ongoing, like I said, it's an ongoing process. And so to know yourself is life's eternal homework. You should always be learning more about yourself, developing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses, knowing what makes you tick, knowing what triggers you, knowing you. And to do those things, you actually have to take some time to know you. You have to take some time to get to know you. You have to be quiet and really reflect on you. And so that's why it's important to do this reflection journal, because I do want you to take some time to be still and be quiet and actually think about the things that you accomplished in the last year. And with this one question on what you learned about yourself, this is how you're able to take all of these things that we're writing throughout the week to go into that vision board or to go into your goal setting. Because I learned this about myself last year, I'm able to say, I know this is what my goal will be this year because I learned this about myself last year. I learned that I was a very creative person last year. So this year, my goal is going to be X, Y, and Z, right? You see how that goes hand in hand? Learning about yourself is a very important process. So, some things that I learned about myself. Well, the other thing is, in order to answer the question, you have to be able to examine yourself, right? So, I said be quiet, be still. It requires you to have some self awareness, it requires you to have some self consciousness to really say, I identify this in myself. I acknowledge this within myself. That takes self awareness. And when you improve your self awareness, you're able to improve better relationships and better outcomes, a better well being because you know more about yourself. So, what I learned about myself last year, I learned that I am still working on self care. That is something that will probably be an ongoing process for me, something that I will continue to work on for the rest of my life. But when I say I'm working on it, I don't mean that I'm starting from scratch. No, I'm meaning that I'm increasing my self care year after year after year after year. Coming from a hard working mother, seeing her work so hard, I have I don't know nothing but hard work because of her. She is the hardest working woman I know. Her and my grandmother and my aunts, they are hard working women, and I love them for that. They have given me this skill. They have given me this strength to be a hard working woman. But you know what? Sometimes they could benefit from some self care. They can benefit from taking some time off and actually relaxing, not answering the phone, not having their computers available, not handling everybody's problems when they call them, but actually taking some time to self care and be there for themselves. Now, granted, this is something I see them doing more of in my adult life. It's also something that I'm learning to do more of in my adult life. The more that it's modeled, the more I can see the importance of it as well. And so every week, every day, I'm learning to do a little bit more for myself. And so that's what I learned about myself, that I am still working on self-care, and there's still some areas of self-care that I really need to pay attention to in my life. Physical health, I need to pay attention to that a little bit more. Sleep, I need to pay attention to that a little bit more. I don't know how well that's going to work out with a new baby, but I know that I'm going to have to take some time to rest when my baby's resting, when my kids are resting. Instead, I'll be like, oh, this is a great time to start cleaning. This is a great time to start grocery shopping online. This is a great time. No, it's a great time to go to sleep. Go to sleep. And I know that's one of my issues. Sleeping is not something that I'm good at until I'm forced to do it. So taking some time to actually rest and sleep, that is something that I will be working on this year, because I paid attention to myself last year, and I did some reflection, and I realized that self-care is something I'm still working on. The other thing that I learned about myself last year is that I am impatient. I'll admit it, I'm impatient. And I started to think that this is probably a bad thing. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized, I'm sorry, the more I realized that me being impatient is probably the reason I am who I am today. The me being impatient is probably why I am where I am today, because I am eager for change. I get irritated easily staying in the same place, and I don't like it. I want to keep going. I want to keep moving. I want to get things done. I like it to be done quickly. And at some point, it's probably been such a benefit to my life being impatient, but it also can be a bad thing, because part of the definition of impatience, of being impatient, is having or showing a tendency to be quickly irritated, restlessly eager, right? I don't want to become quickly irritated. I do agree that staying still is an irritation for me. It frustrates me because I know that there's so much more I can be doing. And one of the sentences when we defined impatient was, they are impatient for change. I am probably that person. I probably fit the definition. My picture is like, she is impatient for change. She is. She likes things to happen. She wants change to happen. Now, like I said, at some point, I know that that is not just something that I need to work on. I know that's a strength. I know it's a strength because I'm always going to be working to get to where I want to be. Now, the part that makes it not so good is being irritable. I don't know if you've ever been around somebody that's irritable. It's irritating because they're irritable. And you don't want to be around somebody that's irritating or irritable, because now I'm irritated because you irritated. So calm down. I want to be more patient with my change, but still have the drive that I have to get it done. So then let's look at patience. The capacity to accept, tolerate, delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. That's what I want. I want to be able to accept the delay without getting angry, without getting upset, but still having the capacity to work hard to get what I want done. That's what I want. So I've learned that I need to balance that out a little bit more. I know that being impatient has got me to where I am, but I want to make sure that I'm not scaring off and driving people away because I'm so impatient that my mood and my temperament is like, I don't want to be around her. She's just ran. No. So that's something that I'm working on. I'm going to work on being patiently impatient. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I'm going to work on being patiently impatient. I'm okay with being impatient. There's a balance to it. And so that's what I learned about myself. I know there's more that I learned, but that's for me in my journal. That's for me in my quiet time. What did you learn about yourself last year? And how can you develop this? How can you use this for this new year and your goals and the visions that you are going to start planning? What did you learn about yourself? And how does it connect with your goals and visions of this year, 2023? That was the day. Day 4. We're more than halfway through. You guys are doing good. Keep going. Keep moving. We got this. This reflection journal is awesome. I love it. Do you love it? Go ahead and give me some feedback and let me know how it's going for you guys. Have a blessed day. You have the power to create change.